All right, it is the Nooner fellas from the Monday Nooner podcast, here to talk about some senior hockey in the province of Saskatchewan. Last week, we said it's as good as it gets with more than 20 games of provincial action alone. That doesn't include the 14 leagues scattered throughout the province of Saskatchewan. But this week, fellas, is as good as any because we get into a little deeper into the provincial brackets. We start to separate the wheat from the chaff, as they say. We start to find out who the big dogs are. And fellas, I want to start in Senior A. Now, for people new to provincial senior hockey, this would be the big boy category, the unlimited imports, the stacked teams, the ton of pro guys that are coming in, and just some really good hockey. Bunch of big ones, but let's talk about the Round Lake Bears and the Redvers Rockets. I don't know who wants to take this one, but I've heard that ticket sales for the game in Redvers on Saturday, pre-sale only, they're expecting a full house in Redvers.
Boss, that is right. They are going to sell this thing out down in Redvers. Huge game for Redvers. I think they got to win game one, going back to Round Lake for game two. I think this one goes the distance, fellas. I don't know who's going to win. It's going to be a heck of a series.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Game one, huge. One thing I feel, Round Lake, every year, it is a eclectic group of players from all over who've never played together before, which can be a little bit tough to get used to. I feel like the deeper they go, fellas, the stronger they get. Redvers, most of these guys have played together forever. I know they do have a good contingent of Carlisle players joining their team as well. So I think for Redvers, like Belt said, you win game one, you get rolling. And then game two is back in Ochapowace First Nation on Sunday at 6 o'clock. That barn will be full. If you plan on making the drive, tell your spouse, I'm not going to be able to text you for a couple hours because there is no service in that joint at all. But you know those games are going to have a ton of people watching online too.
Boz, also in A this weekend, we got Lumsden heading up to Kindersley, game one of that series. That's also A. And if you're around Regina, you want to make a little jaunt north, Oxbow is in Southie, game two of the B, Senior B Provincials. Oxbow is up one game to rip and could end it in the fish tank.
What else in A? We should mention that we mentioned the two series in the South, but the other side, the north side of the bracket, you've got the Loreburn 19ers and the Raymore Rockets. Game one, Sunday, 5 o'clock in Loreburn. Wicked, what do you know about these two teams or this series, or what's your thoughts there?
Well, Raymore's pickups, I heard, were pretty darn good for them. And, you know, they got that, I forget his name, Evan, the net, but he played with Moose Jaw Warriors, and he's pretty darn good.
Evanoff or something? No. Yeah.
Evanoff, and then they got former NHL defenseman Eric Greiba, who's heard he's playing 35 minutes tonight there, so... And that Van Oshaw, who scored 50 goals in Junior A. No, I don't think Loreburn picked up that many players. But it's going to be a tight series.
Yeah, Loreburn been kind of a sneaky, surprising team. And then the other one in A, and we'll kind of highlight some A here more than anything on this Nooner update here on the SportsCage. The number one team in the province, they're going for their fifth provincial title in a row. Unprecedented. They've got a bit of a pipeline from the University of Saskatchewan Huskies program. Players graduate out of what is a juggernaut at the U of S. They got ties, they got buddies in Kenaston. They tend to get a lot of guys shuffling down the Highway 11 to play for the best senior hockey team in Saskatchewan, as per what they've done. The Kenaston Blizzards. They get the Foam Lake Flyers, who have been in the top 10 on our show all year long. They had a little bit of a bumpy last couple months or so, Foam Lake did, but now that it's go time, Wicked, I think they're going to give them a test. What do you think there? What makes you think that Foam Lake could have a chance in this one?
Well, Foam Lake's pickups, especially on D, like Corey Thomas, he plays for St. Brew, but in the Wheatland, but he played in the ECHL last year, won a cup in the ECHL, and he is a stud defenseman. Foam Lake got a really good goalie, and they got lots of talent on that team too. All three lines can score. All their defensemen are really good. It's like I said earlier, I'm thinking whoever wins this series could be the provincial A champion.
There we go.
Both teams in the top 4 of the Monday Nooner top 10. Boz, before we get rocking here, one game I do want to highlight in C, the Shaunavon Badgers, the Hunter brothers, Dyson Stevenson, they're coming down to Assiniboia this weekend for game 2, 7:30 p.m. That is going to be a heck of a game. A lot of really homegrown local talent, Assiniboia and Shaunavon facing off. 4-2, Shaunavon takes game 1, but they were down 2-rip going into the third. I think Assiniboia is going to take this one, head it back down the number 1 to Shaunavon for game 3. It's going to be a heck of a game. If you're around there, head down and see that one.
I'm just thinking back to about 30 seconds ago, the collection of 620 CKRM listeners in Lumsden and Round Lake and everywhere else punching their steering wheels as Wicked said that Fulton Lake Keniston winner is going to be a slam dunk to win A. So some
making friends, Wicked. You're making friends.
Making no friends in the South. But that's what makes it fun, is that any of these teams could win, and they've got such passionate fan bases all throughout the province. And we kid you not, when some of these games are streamed on the weekend, there will be thousands of people watching these live, not to mention the 1,500 to 2,000 in some of these rinks that they're getting on any given night of senior hockey provincials. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, man, that was a lot of information and I kind of want to find out more, see what these guys are talking about, you can listen to our podcast, the Monday Nooner podcast, with our weekly top 10. Or you can follow us on social media. We try to keep the brackets updated to see exactly who's playing who and when it's all going down. So if you're into senior hockey, you've come to the right place. That is the weekly report by the Monday Nooner boys on the SportsCage.